When it comes to Brad Holmes' 2023 draft class, so far a good number of his rookies are producing for the Lions, but one rookie is making a bid to outshine all of them. We're going to talk about it in today's episode, folks, so stay tuned.
We used to be a team no one respected. We used to be a team no one feared. That was then. This is now.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, end zone. Yes! Caught!
You know who we are.
10-5, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions.
And you know where to find us. We won't be far. We'll be on your front porch waiting for you. We are the New Era Lions. And
we are driven by Detroit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and we're diving in right now. As always, to those that are coming back to the show, I just want to say thank you all for coming back. Thank you all for your view, your support, and your patronage. It's absolutely amazing that I have such loyal fans, and I'm thankful for each and every one of y'all. And to those that are tuning into my show for the very first time, thank you all for giving my show a shot. Welcome on in. Hope you all enjoy the content, and I hope to gain your subscription if I've earned and deserved it. And to everybody, I just want to say God bless. Hope y'all have a good day. Hope that you enjoy the content, and let's dive into the content. So, here's the thing, folks. When we take a look at Brad Holmes' rookie draft class this year, it's been doing pretty damn good, I would admit. It's been doing pretty damn good for quite a while. Because think about it here. The first 4 picks that Brad Holmes drafted this year, every single one of them has contributed. Every single one of them is contributing. And they've been doing pretty good. I mean, take a look at them. Take a look at the fact that Jahmyr Gibbs is working very well with David Montgomery. That Jack Campbell is getting better and better every single week as a Mike linebacker. The fact that Brian Branch is getting better as a safety. But the one guy that I didn't mention that I will now, tight end Sam LaPorta, he is making a bid to outshine every single one of them. He is having an absolutely fantastic rookie season. And it, in my opinion, there's no how should I say it? There's no reason to wonder why he's not having such a great season, which we'll talk about in this episode briefly. But we have to understand this about Sam LaPorta. We have to kind of go back to Sam LaPorta's origins, if you will, with the Detroit Lions to kind of get a beginning of an understanding of what we're going to talk about with this whole thing. Because Sam LaPorta is a guy that when we drafted him, there were some Lions fans that were not too particularly enthused about him being drafted by the Lions. And when you think about that whole start to where we are right now, the freaking dichotomy, the vast chasm of difference is just ridiculous. So that's where we're going to start with this whole thing really quickly and kind of do this as a quick couple, like about 12, 13, 14-minute episode if I can manage it. But let's think about this. Lions drafted Sam LaPorta in the second round at pick number 34, so just outside the first round. So still considered a potential first-round prospect, but just not good enough. Because you think about it, there's 31, 32 picks in the first round, provided a team doesn't forfeit their first-round pick. But think about this. At the time when the Lions drafted Sam LaPorta, there were a lot of Lions fans whose emotions were kind of ranging between one of two different things. Either confused or angry. I actually was very happy when we drafted Sam LaPorta because I had kind of looked at his profile prior to draft day and I liked what I saw with this young man. And I knew that the tight end position was definitely a position we were going to invest in to fix and get better. I just didn't think we were going to do it early in the second round, but boy am I ever glad we did. But let's think about the rest of the Lions fans here that were not happy that we drafted him. The reason why? Because of the history of Lions and the drafting of tight ends. Because let's think about this, folks. The Lions have not had a good tight end since the days of Charlie Sanders, which goes back to 1968 was when he was a rookie. So late 60s into the 70s and 80s. Since then, the Lions' luck, if you will, with tight ends has ranged from just okay to really, really bad. And the reason why is because let's take a look at the last 3 tight ends that the Lions had drafted prior to Sam LaPorta, which is Brandon Pettigrew, Eric Ebron, and TJ Hawkinson. Now, I'm going to say this right now. When it comes to tight ends, most people cannot stand the first 2 that I just mentioned. Excuse me. Which is Brandon Pettigrew and Eric Ebron. Brandon Pettigrew has the franchise record for the single season receiving yards for a tight end with 777 yards. So that's at least something in Pettigrew's favor. But realistically, Pettigrew really never did anything to kind of set himself out. I think he was more a product of the fact that just Matthew Stafford was the primary weapon for that offense, and they just threw the ball a lot, and he was just a benefit of all that freaking, production thrown his way. But whatever. Pettigrew actually holds a record with the Lions. That's at least something. Eric Ebron, on the other hand, or as some people like to affectionately call him, Eric Ebum, he pretty much was a bust. I mean, Pettigrew was not much better, but at least he has something to his name with the Lions. But both Pettigrew and freaking Eric Ebron, they're viewed as flops, busts as tight ends. Then we get to TJ Hawkinson. Hawkinson, on the other hand, actually was a decent receiver for the Lions. He was actually a decently good receiver. The problem was he wasn't a good blocker. And if you're going to be a good tight end, you have to have good blocking skills. And the part of the problem, if we go back to last year when the Lions traded him, Hawkinson wanted to get paid top 10 tight end money, which as a receiver, he's playing like a top 10 tight end because he's up there in terms of receiving yards and receiving touchdowns this year. The problem is he doesn't do anything as a blocker, which again, that's half of your job as a tight end, which it was very obvious. Brad Holmes did not want to pay him that money, so he traded him to the Vikings, and he got a second-round pick out of it. Very interesting that second-round pick that we got for Hawkinson from the Vikings was not the exact same, but it was the same kind of concept when we used a second-round draft pick to draft Sam LaPorta. So pretty much what Brad Holmes did is he took that second-round pick he got for Hawkinson and used that same kind of draft compensation, not the exact same, but the same idea to get Sam LaPorta. Which, think about it, Hawkinson was a first-round draft pick. We got a second-round draft pick for him, used a second-round draft pick to draft his replacement. I find it to be a rather ironic twist of fate. So, getting back to the draft night of Sam LaPorta. Again, I knew there were a lot of Lions fans. Their emotions kind of ranged from confused, disappointed, angry, and some people thought that this was another wasted pick because of the fact that it was a tight end, because nobody wanted to see another high-drafted tight end because of so much bad, history, bad luck, bad track record, whatever term you'd like to use, when we were talking about tight ends. They were much rather hoping we were going to use that pick on something else. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If we want to talk about those people from then to now, let's think about this here. Not only has LaPorta proven his doubters and the SOL fans wrong, he has made believers out of almost all of said doubters because of his absolutely amazing, and I mean this, amazing production and play. Because let's think about this. Let's consider this. If you take a look at Sam LaPorta right now and his production through the 12 games he's played, he's averaged about 5 receptions a game. He averages almost 60 yards a game, 57 to be exact, but 60 yards almost. I just rounded up. Think about this. He is easily the best rookie tight end this year. The next one is the tight end for the Bills, but again, he's easily in front of him. And again, in my honest opinion, he's easily one of the top 10 tight ends in the league. And he's already a rookie. You could make a solid argument that he is a top 10 tight end right now as a rookie. The only reason I'm saying top 10 and not top 5 is because of the fact that he is a rookie. Imagine what the boy is going to do the older he gets, the more experienced he gets. I can only just imagine. Because again, think about this. We've never had a problem necessarily having decent wide receivers. Golden Tate, Calvin Johnson. We've done a pretty good job when it comes to the wide receiver department. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Tight end has been a position that's kind of haunted us a little bit. Kind of like running back. But now, it looks like we've actually kind of solved that problem. Kind of like how we've also kind of solved the running back problem. But think about this as well. What are some of the hardest positions to learn from in transition from college to the pros? The 3 hardest ones that most people will universally agree upon: quarterback, cornerback, and tight end. Here you got Sam LaPorta out here, and he is playing at such a high level that he looks like he's been doing it for about 4 or 5 years already. And now let's finally consider this. Sam LaPorta has already had more production for a rookie tight end than any other rookie tight end in Lions history. Think about that one. Because the Lions' record for rookie tight ends in terms of yards, in terms of production, was held by Charlie Sanders. Oh, by the way, who is a Hall of Famer. But also think about this. Remember how I was talking about how Brandon Pettigrew at least has one thing for the Lions in terms of the fact that he wasn't a total bust, a total flop, and that's because he holds the Lions' single-season record for receiving yards by a tight end, which was set in 2011. Take a wonder where freaking Sam LaPorta is in regards to that record. He is 98 yards short of breaking that record. That's about another 2 games, maybe another 1 game if he has a game like he just had against the freaking Saints. I'm not saying that's going to happen against the Bears, but just think about that. He had 140 yards against the Saints. He's literally within 1 or 2 games of breaking the single-season record for all tight ends held by Lions as a rookie. That's pretty damn impressive. He already holds the record for most yards held by a tight end for a rookie for the Lions. Now he's about to break the one that's held for all tight ends in a single season by the Lions. That's pretty impressive for a tight end. Now we have to think about this. Why is that the case? In my honest opinion, it comes down to 2 people primarily. Ben Johnson and Jared Goff. Because think about it here, folks. Ben Johnson is the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. But again, before he was the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, he was also the tight end coach and he was the passing game coordinator. Ben Johnson knows very well how to utilize his tight ends, specifically Sam LaPorta, inside of this offense to get the maximum potential and use out of them. But then it goes to Jared Goff to be able to actually get them to work inside of the offense. Because think about it. When we were back in training camp, there were reports that Jared Goff was spending extra time with Sam LaPorta working on routes and red zone work. Which, think about it. Sam LaPorta has 6 receiving touchdowns in the end zone this year. That's pretty impressive for a rookie tight end on top of his 670-something receiving yards already. And that was because Jared Goff was working with him in the red zone to develop timing, to develop trust, to develop chemistry. And think about it. In my honest opinion, I truly believe that Jared Goff's second most trusted receiver right now is Sam LaPorta, right behind Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think actually that LaPorta is more trusted by Goff than freaking Josh Reynolds. And you have to think about that. That's rather impressive considering the fact that Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff have an extensive history going all the way back to their days when they were with the Rams. Either way, the point of the matter is that LaPorta is having an absolutely stupendous year as a rookie. And Jared Goff and Ben Johnson are absolutely making great use of LaPorta with the production, which again has been absolutely through the damn roof. So I'm going to say this right now. Not only do I fully expect that Sam LaPorta is going to break the Detroit Lions single-season receiving record held by tight ends, it would not surprise me that if he were to continue to play like he's been playing, he could get to 1,000 yards. Now, that would take a little bit of some extra work with only 5 games left. But it's like, listen, he's almost to 700 yards receiving. He only needs 300 more. If Sam LaPorta keeps playing like he did against the Saints, it's actually kind of feasible. Think about that. St. Brown's already got 1,000 yards as a wide receiver. Imagine having 2 1,000-yard receivers on the same team. Goff's only 700 yards away from 4,000 passing yards again. Think about how much production for a tight end and a wide receiver to get all that in 1 year. That's pretty impressive. Not only does that speak to the chemistry that this offense has with its wide receivers and tight ends, but it also speaks to the trust that the quarterback has with those receivers and the amount of time, energy, and effort that they're putting in to make sure it all works. Again, it's a great testament to Ben Johnson. It's a great testament to Jared Goff, but it's a greater testament to the work ethic and the freaking job that Sam LaPorta has been doing as a rookie tight end. And I felt that I had to make this content about him because, like, dude, this guy's a beast. He is a dog, and he is going to fight for every yard. That was one of the biggest things about him that drew me when I saw his profile, is that he fights for every yard. He is a yak machine. So, with that having been said, absolutely ecstatic about Sam LaPorta's production. Absolutely freaking just wanting to see what he's going to do for the rest of his career. Absolutely just so freaking hyped to see what the rest of his career plays out here with the Lions. But until the next time we talk about him, or until we get to see him again in a game, I just want to say thank you all for watching another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage you all to do one of these 3 things. Like, comment, and subscribe. If by chance you subscribed in the past, you forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, I want to encourage you all again to make sure you subscribe to the channel because it definitely helps me out, and I'm appreciative for every subscription that I get. But I also want to encourage y'all, please, make sure you also hit that bell notification icon as well, so that way you never miss any more content that I push out. Again, subscription numbers are always going up, but we want to make sure we also turn on that bell notification icon, so that way you guys never miss any more content as soon as I push it out. I also encourage y'all, please, to share this content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. Share it anywhere and everywhere you can with absolutely everybody and anybody that you can. Again, it helps me out, and it also helps spread the channel and allow it to grow. So again, I'm thankful for every share as well that I get. And with that being said, to everybody, I just want to say thank you all for your view, your time, your support, your patronage. And if I hadn't gained your subscription, and I just did, welcome all to the family. And if I still haven't gained your subscription, hopefully you'll come back and I'll get another chance in the future. But until that time, I just want to say again, thank you all for your view. God bless. Hope you enjoyed the content. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.